What's happening, boys? Dead Picks, I see you out there. I don't know if you can grab a mic. I did not schedule it today. That is my bad. I can throw it up on the schedule right now if you want, or we can skip, uh, or you can just put it up yourself, man. I'll schedule one up real quick, and then you can just decide what you want to do about it. I'm going to put it up as let's talk about fights. Dana White's Contender Series, UFC, and MMA/boxing. And we'll just go with that for now. Anyway, man, Dana White Contender Series. I don't know if you guys are watching. I don't know if you guys seen the knockout that just happened. I mean, it wasn't like the grandest knockout I had ever seen, but good story. Guy came from tough beginnings. So we see where he's at. Dead Picks, see you on the mic, bud. What's happening?
Uh, just surviving, man. Just surviving. I'm still, uh, I'm still kind of in awe of like this fucking last, two fights from UFC Noche. I had to go back and watch them. Funny enough, I kind of knew that shit was gonna happen. I don't know what compelled me that day to say fuck it, cause I obviously didn't pay for the fights, but I mean I did pay for the fights, but fucking yeah, man. I just knew I had a feeling. I'm like,
Oh, you cut up, bud. You cut up. I heard you say you had a feeling. Shit, Dead Picks, I can't hear you. Man, I don't know what happened there. Trace, nice to see you on the mic, bud. Were you able to hear Dead Picks when you came in, Trace?
No, when I came in, he cut out.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm going to remove him as a speaker. And then I'm going to re-invite him as a speaker. So if he bounces and comes back. Dead Picks, I just scheduled a stream, man. Sorry I was so late if you can still hear me. Did you see that knockout, Trace?
Yeah, I was watching it. I'm watching it right now. I'm gonna be kind of in and out for a little bit. I'm cooking a steak for my wife, so I'll be like 10-15 minutes or so.
Oh, ain't no big deal, bud. Ain't no big deal. I think I could carry it. You know, my Contender Series stream just kind of took a shit, though, and that sucks because I had that going in the background.
Sounds like
Anybody
ESPN.
listening? Yeah, anybody listening or tuning in right now? Thank you. If you hit this on a replay later, thank you very much. The YouTube streams tend to be pretty consistent. This will be one of our last non-video shows. I think we're inside probably our last 5 or so before we are at least video comparable, I guess, or half video. Um, I don't know. We'll still use the space, is what I'm trying to get at. Anyways, let me go ahead and open today's show here. I had it all opened up, but my computer froze about 3 minutes before the space started, so I had to reboot and nothing was fucking open. Um, Man, I'm waiting for Usman to get in here so I can see if there's been any updates on the UFC 306 Easter egg deal. I know he was there live, and I know he said he found all 5 of them. So I don't know if they've announced anything yet. Cade, how you doing, bud? Well, I see he grabbed a mic. I don't know if he can talk right now, but nice to see you on the mic, Cade. So I'm gonna go over some shit from 306 right now. Um, I'm not in any way trying to throw shade. I thought it was a good card. A lot of people give it shit. We're giving it shit. I thought it was a good card. Last 2 fights, I don't know how I feel about the last two fights. And the Valentina fight, to be fair, is exactly what I thought it would be. I had absolutely zero surprise that Valentina just took her down and controlled her on repeat. It was Valentina is clearly the better mixed martial artist, and yeah, I mean, I don't know a better way to explain it. I'm not going to kill it. She's overall better. The grappling game was clearly far better. She had clearly, there's no way that you win as much as she had won and you don't get comfortable. And then even in a rematch where you haven't quite turned it on like you used to turn it on, even though you might think that you have. So, moral of the story is for me, I wasn't surprised to see Valentina just go out there. Um, I wasn't really surprised to see Marab do it to Sean either. I guess with that one, I was just more bummed out, if nothing else. I wanted Sean to get the win because I do not think Marab will be an exciting champion. Good chances are that he loses to Umar anyway. I know he's already trying to duck that fight to get the Davis and Figueiredo fight. So I don't know. It seemed like the UFC right before the event kind of guaranteed, like the way it was all being built up by some media members. It's all but guaranteed that Umar's getting the next title shot. So like a lot of the media guys and even the commentators were kind of talking about it like they don't think that Sean is even able to get a rematch. Like it's already a done deal. I don't know how true that is. That's just the way they were talking about it. Kate, go ahead.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, I don't think what's it called? I don't think Sean's gonna be fighting anytime soon. He's got to get surgery in October. I heard he's gonna. From what it sounds of it, he's gonna be out for like 8 months to a year. I guess he tore his labrum. I'm sure you guys saw that, but apparently he did that in fight camp and came into this camp hurt. So I hate when fighters do that shit, man. Like it just like I don't know, man. I hate when they do that shit. I understand they're fighters. They want to fight through the shit, but I mean, it just sucks. But not saying Rob wouldn't beat him regardless, but it just kind of takes away from the fight and the event and everything else. And apparently he did it 10 weeks ago. So if you're telling me you tore something 10 weeks ago, I mean, the UFC, if you would have let them know, would have had plenty of time to make another main event for the spear card. So I don't know, man. I just, yeah, I hate when they do that shit. Dillashaw did that shit against Aljo too. And a lot of people had money on Dillashaw. And I'm sure a lot of people had money on Sean. And it's not fair to obviously they don't give a shit about gambling and stuff like that, but it's not fair to those people. It's not fair to the sport. It's not fair to the fans. I don't know, man. I just don't like when they do that shit.
Yeah, well, not to mention Dana might have stem celled some shit, had some shit stem celled together for his ass, and he might have been able to pull it off anyway. I mean, I'm laughing a little bit about that, but the UFC's got some real deal medical shit available to them, and they're even able to fly you out of the country if they need to. You know what I mean? To get you some treatment. So I I think his biggest flaw, if it happened 10 weeks ago, is not just telling them and seeing if they can help. I don't mean telling them so they could maybe cancel it or what the fuck ever. I think the UFC probably would have been like, okay, let us get our doctors involved. Let us spend a whole bunch of money Sean O'Malley's not going to spend. Uh, it may also be one of them things too, where like I know Sean's got all these cars and all this shit, but dropping 100 grand or 150 grand on a surgery may not be ideal. Sean may have went into the fight hurt, knowing that he would get the surgery, and regardless of whether he win or
Yeah, because
lost.
not to hold this subject up, Joe, but I don't know if you remember, but like even what Tim Welch said to him in the fifth round just kind of sounded weird, right? Because like he was like, "Don't worry, Sean, it's almost
Super
over."
weird. No, didn't he say 5 more minutes and we're out of
Yes,
this?
yes, and then he followed it up by saying, "It's almost over, sugar."
Yeah, like I don't know.
And
Seems like there could be some. They knew, I whatever,
And it's
dude.
just
I
like
don't know.
it's frustrating, bro, because it's like if you watch the fight, it's like okay, Marab was gonna take him down regardless. That's what Marab's gonna do, you know? We could all fucking call that. Like that's his game plan to take Sean down. But Marab gave Sean plenty of chances to hit him as well. So I don't know.
I don't. I don't disagree with that. The thing I would say that more so is kind of intriguing or sets off some bells for me is that he's taking it so no big deal. Even when he's like, I'm still bummed out. He doesn't even feel like he's bummed out. It doesn't feel like he's sad. It feels like he's just like, okay, belt's gone. Let me sell this to the people. Came a day late with a post. Sugar State Athletic Commission breaking news. Sugar won 2 of the last 3 rounds. Fight overturned. Sugar won. I don't I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird situation the way he's acting.
I'll say the last thing I want to say on this subject is I just think I agree with you. I think it's a little weird just because of who he is and how he is, but I think it's just one of those things where he got humbled, man. Like I think that was a humbling experience, injured or not. Because I mean, you can call it what it is. I mean, you could argue he won the third. You can sit here and argue he won the fifth. I don't give a fuck. My eye test said he got dominated. Like the stats show he got
Oh yeah.
dominated. The fight that I saw, he got dominated. I mean, it was a humbling experience. So I mean, like, I don't know. It could make him better as a fighter. I don't know. We don't know. He's still pretty young, so but I mean it is a tough division, so we'll have to see where he goes after surgery. But yeah.
Um. Yeah, I won't kill it anymore. Corey Sandhagen wants to fight Sean now. I think that's a fun fight. Um. I will comment about the fight when Marab kissed Sean and then walked away early and Sean hit him in the side of the head. And Herb Dean even looked at him and said, "That's your fault." Um. I wish Sean would have knocked him out right there, only for the controversy, only for the fact that he turned around to walk away after Marab kissed him, and then Sean went around Herb Dean to punch him twice, just for the fucking dramatics of it all, just for the I don't know, whatever you want to
That'd
call
have
it.
been the Floyd Mayweather of MMA.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that shit blew up. It was bigger than boxing when Floyd did that shit. And fuck, I wish Sean would have made one of them moments. Just I like when them big moments happen in MMA. Mike, I see you over there grab the mic, but ain't said nothing yet. I figure you're probably watching your money over there on Dana White's Contender Series, bud. Nice to see you on the mic.
Yeah, man, I'm really in it right now. I'm trying to make sure this overhead
What you on the over 1.5 or 2.5?
over one.
I think you'll get that. I don't think that looks at risk at all. I don't know. I know we've seen a couple finishes. Well, the last fight, dude was hungry, but first fight, I know we seen that finish in the third round, but I don't know. Them dudes were exchanging on the feet, having a banger of a fight, and then that Hassan Zada decided he wanted to shoot takedowns repeatedly till he got one. I don't know. I don't know how Dana's going to feel about that either. Yeah, whatever. Is what it is. What else do I got down here? Marab wants to fight Davison Figueiredo instead of Umar Nurmagomedov. Says that Davison has earned it, has the accolades and the record. Says that he feels like Umar is only fast tracked because he's related to Khabib Nurmagomedov, or Habib Nurmagomedov. I feel like there is probably a little favoritism for him because of that in the way that matches might be put together and the way he might be pushed to the rankings. I think there is also some truth to nobody wants to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. I think there's some truth to they call people and say, want to fight Umar? And most of them say no. Um, I have a hard time thinking that Umar will not beat Marab. Uh, if Marab could pull that upset, man, you'd probably actually get me to root for Marab, but I think Umar probably takes that belt from Marab as soon as they put him in the cage together. I don't know. I think you're going to see. I think we'll see if Umar has the levels of go and cardio that his older cousin did when he fights Marab. Marab will push him. Marab Marab will grab him. Marab will try to control him, and that'll be the point where we finally see if Umar is the caliber that we've been sold that he is. Like, I'm not trying to sound funny or anything. It's sold to us like this kid's probably the greatest in the fucking world. I don't know. I can't say that I've bought it the whole entire time, but he is a good fighter. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look, I think from watching him from the beginning and his performances and all his fights, I think he answered all the questions. I think he can go with Marab, and I think he's the better striker than Marab. But I think as far as who has the better gas tank, man, I think the only way we're gonna find that out because we both seen him go at a hard wrestling pace for 5 rounds. Man, just add a few more rounds to it. Let's see who gets tired.
You're saying add more. You're saying add more than 4 or 5 to it.
Yeah, let's make it like 7 or 8 rounds. Let's see who's really gonna get tired because they both can go at a high pace for 5 rounds.
So one comment I will make about that. Funny that these guys are Russian, or at least Umar is for sure. Um, I've said before that I can't believe there's no Russian MMA promotion that hasn't scheduled like a 9 round bout or a fucking 7 round bout or a 10 round bout. Um, Even like reduced minutes, like 3 minutes. I'm just surprised that we haven't seen anybody attempt shorter rounds, more of a boxing format for MMA. See if you can get these guys to fight a little more because the grappling is definitely not appealing if you only have 3 minutes of total round. It's not even as close to appealing because it takes most guys 45 seconds to a minute 15 before they even shoot their takedown if that's what they're planning to do. So now you're talking a minute 45, 2 minutes total work time on the ground. Um, I personally think that you would see the guys stand up a lot more. I don't think they should make the change. I'm just surprised that nobody has attempted to do that, at least not to my knowledge, anyways. Next up on the docket, I'll roll through. They announced the MSG card. Madison Square Garden, Stipe versus John. I'm sure that Usman will be here with some fight announcements a little later, so I won't hit that whole card. But Anthony Smith says he's not on that card. They announced him and Dominic Reyes on that card. Fifth fight, opener, ideally opener of the main card. If 5 fights, but he says he's fighting in December. Already has a contract, already signed. He's fighting in Las Vegas at T-Mobile. When I look at the graphic, it looks like maybe they shouldn't have thrown that one in there. If they were announcing the main card, it would seem that it would only be 5 fights, which would make sense with Weidman, Anders opening, Natalia Silva, Arujo above that, and then the Bo Nickel, Paul Craig, and so on and so on. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume that they just didn't mean to do it. Another fluke, 306 was. Did you guys see them? Kendrick Lamar, Terrence Crawford. I don't know if
That shit
anybody
was
was paying
funny.
close attention. Like, yeah, it was. He commented. He said, "To be honest, I think it was intentionally done, just for the laughter, because how you can get us mixed up. Maybe, maybe." I heard someone. I don't know. It might have been Chael Sonnen, which could mean it's fucking bullshit. But I heard someone say that the person who did it in the back was in absolute tears, in complete hysterics, totally embarrassed. Feel like they felt like probably felt like they had fucked the whole thing up, the whole production up. I would assume. Man, I cannot remember who said it. I listened to probably 8 fucking review videos yesterday, so I don't know. What somebody said it though. Somebody said it. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Terrence Crawford's laughing about it, so I guess we can all laugh about it pretty easy. God damn Aldana's forehead. Everybody's seen the meaty cut, right? Where they pushed it and the shit wiggled, and then they would push it again, and her whole fucking forehead would wiggle again. Um, they sewed her ass back together. I gotta feel like that one's gonna show. That shit is gonna be a fighter scar for sure. She is 100% gonna have a big nasty scar, in my opinion. I don't know how you get busted up like that, how you get split open like that and not show anything. I'd be surprised. Roll through here. Man, I don't want to forget to ask Usman about the Easter egg thing because I haven't kept up on it, and I know he was seriously in it, so I'm going to move it down the list here a little bit. Javier Mendez. I'll finish up with anything I've got on 306 here. Javier Mendez says that he thinks Sal D'Amato and Chris Lee should be fired from the UFC and not allowed to judge anymore because they didn't give the card to Sean or to Marab all 5 rounds. And both of them actually gave him round 3 and round 5, making Mike Bell, who gave O'Malley or gave Dawalishvili all 4 of the first rounds, making him the odd man out. So they both had it 2-3. Um, yeah, Javier Mendez went on a little bit of a little bit of a rant, so to speak. But I think he was dead ass serious that he think they should be fired. I don't think that he thinks I don't think he's busting balls, is what I'm saying. I think he dead ass thinks that they should be fucking fired for that. I thought Sean won round 5. I can't say off the top of my head that I was like, oh yeah, he definitely won round 3. But I did remember feeling like he had some success at one point earlier in the fight. Either way, I don't think that that's a fireable offense to give Sean O'Malley round 3 and 5,
3 was close.
especially especially when another judge did the same thing. You're not talking about one judge doing a crazy scorecard. 2 judges did the exact same scorecard.
Yeah, and you're right. Sean did have some success in that third round. I thought he won that third round.
Well, I'll be honest. It was dragged out, and when we were in the 5th round, and he was getting at it, me and my buddy were talking to it, and I couldn't remember if it was the second or the third round. It was late as shit here. It was 2 a.m. I was working on 21 hours or some shit at that point, and I was just trying to watch it, but to make sure I stayed up because I don't want to miss the shit if there's something crazy that happens. But I had to remember he had some success earlier in the fight. So rounds 3 and 5 seems super fucking legit to me.
Joe,
Um,
I even saw a lot of people saying that they thought Sean won the first round too.
the first round, yeah, I seen a lot of that shit too. I don't know if that's people trying to troll a little bit or if they're dead ass, but I did see a few people say that as well.
No, I think they're dead
And
ass.
that's
I think people actually thought Sean won the fight 3-2, but you can't get dominated in a fight like that and win the fight. I'm sorry.
no, 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 you just can't. Fuck, could you imagine how crazy people would have went if Sean got the nod in
Yeah,
that
but I really
fight?
wouldn't have put it
People would have
past.
lost their
I wouldn't
mind.
have put it past the judges to do some shit like that. I actually thought one judge might have done it.
I mean, they
They
did give
didn't
him
though.
the fight against Jan.
Super fair to say. Super fair to say. Yeah, ain't no question about that. Super fair to say there. Um, what else do I got related to this card? Diego Lopez wants a title fight. Uh, Mike, you think Diego Lopez could fight for the title right now?
I mean, he could. I mean, he technically beat Ortega was ranked number 3, right?
Yeah, he's number three now.
Oh,
Lopez is number three.
yeah. Give him a title shot. Screw it.
My thought is if Max wins, it doesn't really matter. He should be next. They want to keep it fresh. If they want to do something fresh that's going to keep people excited, he's got to be next. To be honest, nobody wants to see Volk fight Ilya again. No one is calling for Volk versus Ilya again, and it's just not a fight any of us want to see. And Max versus Volk 4, come on. Even if Max knocks him out fucking cold, all anybody's gonna say is, "Oh well, Islam changed him forever. Islam changed him forever," and then there'll be Taporia fans going, "No, it was Taporia who changed him forever." That'll be the only fucking debate. I think he's very logical for a title shot, and I don't think they need to make him fight anybody else in the top five. I say just fucking push him through. Chances are he doesn't pull it off. That's a major jump in rank position in two fights. Like it's crazy to go from what was he 13? I think to go from 13 to champion would be insane. But fuck it, we'll all root for him. So I want to see it. Cade,
Yeah, I think personally, if I think Volk has to fight again. Like I think he like I Volk's done the UFC a lot of favors, so I kind of figured they're gonna end up putting him in a title shot somewhere along the line. I would honestly like to see Volk fight somebody to get back to the title. Personally, that's just my opinion. I think Diego Lopez makes a lot of sense in my opinion as well because honestly, ever since he got to the UFC, man, all he's done is have great fights, win outside of Mobsar, and um I don't know, man. I think him and Ilya would be a good fight, but something does tell me that if Max pulls it off against Ilya, you're definitely gonna get a Vulcan Max fucking four fight, man. Jesus Christ. But I don't know, man. And then I just think Brian with losing to Diego Lopez, um, I think I don't know, man. I don't think his head's in it at 45. I mean, like I'm sure we've talked about it multiple times. Like he's gonna be moving up to 55. I hate when fighters go into a fight talking about their next move. Like focus on what the fuck you got in front of you first. But I guess he'll be moving up to 55. So you take Brian Ortega out of that picture, he's not going to be fighting anybody. So I don't know, man. I think Volk's got to fight somebody, and then Max and Ilya, and then whoever wins that fight, Diego's next for them. Or maybe Volk could even fight. This might sound crazy, but maybe even Volk can fight Diego Lopez. Winner of that fight's the winner of the Taporia and Max fight. I don't know, man. Like that division's a little weird, but I definitely think we're gonna get a rematch somewhere along the lines that we don't want to see.
I think it would have to be like a later 2, 3, 4 years from now before we see that third fight. I don't think it sells. I don't think anybody wants to see it. And I think the UFC is going to avoid it like the fucking plague. But I've been wrong about dumber shit. Mike,
I was gonna say, I disagree just a little bit because we all remember the Max Holloway situation when he just destroyed all the contenders but still couldn't win the title. I would just say give him the title shot now. Just give it back to him. He. I think he's been like the longest reigning champ in a long time besides Aldo. He's second place, so give him the title shot. He's fought everybody, went up against 55, and gave Islam his toughest fight before Dustin Poirier. So just give him a rematch. He's gonna lose. That way, it's a definitive conclusion. He's not gonna get a shot again for a long time if he's able to work his way back. But if he fights again, he's gonna destroy Lopez. And I honestly believe he's gonna destroy everybody else too. So just give him the fight, and he can move up to 155 after that. There's a lot of good fights for him at 155.
I've said this for a long time. I don't think Volk does well at 155. When he went with Islam in the first fight, I was very shocked. There's not a lot of good matchups for him at 155. Um, he probably is too much for Lopez in a decision. Uh, but man, if Lopez were to finish
That's
Volk,
if his chin's still there though, Joe. Lopez
yeah,
could
that's what I'm
crack.
saying. If Lopez finishes Volk, that hurts Volk's career very badly, very badly.
bro. If
Definitely
he
takes
fights
him out of.
Lopez, if he fights Lopez, I think as a Volk fan, y'all know I'm a diehard Volk fan. I'm a Volk truther. I think he belongs on the Mount Rushmore. But yeah, dude, I think if Lopez connects, he goes to sleep.
Probably real fast, bud. Probably real fucking fast too. Yeah, that would be one that would
At
hurt
least
him.
such a size advantage for Lopez as well.
I think you're going to see Volk do anything he can to fight somebody with as high of or a higher profile than he has. Because he's on a 2 fight loss, man. He's on a 2 fight loss streak, and yeah, I don't know if he gets knocked out a third time in a row. Fuck, we've all
I
seen it.
know
We've seen where it goes from
I
there.
know I mean not to go down this path. I'm sure you guys have a lot of shit to talk about, but I know like Justin just called him, put him on his list of 4 fighters that he would like to fight on his comeback shit. So like I don't know if that would make any sense for Volk if he plans on going to 55. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know what Volk's next plan is. It's kind of weird with him coming off these 2 fights because it's like you lost at 55 and then you came back to 45 and lost again. So, or I mean, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, some people still talk about he's pound for pound too, bro. You can't even be in the top 15 pound for pound. You went up, you lost at the next weight class. You came back down, you lost at your own weight class. You're out of the pound for pound. That's not even some shit to speak about anymore. I haven't looked. They may have removed him by now, but he fucking needs to be removed. That's for damn sure if he hasn't been. Um, let's see what else I got here. So, man, you guys think we're gonna see Val and Grasso go at it again?
No, I think they have to give Manning her shot. I think next against Val, and I
That's the
honestly,
real challenge.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I actually think Val. I know how great Val is, but I have this weird feeling that Val's gonna try to avoid that fight at all costs.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
I
that.
think she could take on PRO. I think Kong Wang, the girl who beat her in kickboxing, is going to be the one she avoids because she's going to climb the ranks.
And as far as the rematch goes, I don't think there's a call for it. I mean, it was a very dominant 50-45 valid decision. So, had it been competitive or somewhere competitive, or even if there had been a moment where Grosso like really hurt her or really had her in danger, you know,
A Diaz moment, a Nate Diaz moment.
yeah, yeah. And it's not like while Grosso is beloved, she's not like this big showman or show lady. So it's not like she has a this huge following that's going to push for the fight for her either.
I was gonna say I
Fair.
think a good fight for Grasso next would be the loser of the Rose and Aaron fight. To be honest,
Wouldn't it be
So
rather be the winner, right?
well, because the reason I didn't say winner is because like to me, I think if Rose beats Aaron, she's next for the belt, and I also think the same thing for Aaron. Like I think that's a number one contenders fight right there. So the loser of that fight's going to be looking to come and get another fight to get themselves back into the title picture. And what better way to do that than to fight the former reigning champion? I mean, that's just my opinion, though. That's what I was thinking.
That would be a pretty good matchup. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty good. Did anybody see the? I don't know if it's real or not. And Usman's not in here. I don't know when he's coming. He got held up at his kid's soccer game. I think he had to coach someone's game or something. Did anybody see the announcement that Tatiana Suarez is fighting for the championship? I don't know if that's legit. I definitely seen it that
Yeah, I've
she's
been
booked
looking for
against
it.
Whaley.
So I seen somebody put a post about it saying that not the not not the fight that I was hoping for to get announced during UFC Noche, and it was a picture of Whaley and Tatiana Suarez facing off. So I don't know if he was saying that was the fight he was hoping that would get announced, or if that was the fight that got announced. I was actually at work during most of UFC Noche, so I didn't see any fight announcements. So I don't know was it announced during the fight?
No, AG fight just announced, which I honestly don't know if it's true or not, but they just announced today that they're targeting Verna and Tatiana for UFC 310 in December.
Because I would absolutely love the Whaley Tatiana Suarez fight because I've had a Tatiana Suarez champion by the end of by December place since like early January. Yeah, so yeah, if she got that fight, I would be very excited.
You must have been devastated when she
Tatiana,
got a knee injury, huh?
Bruh. I placed that bet like 3 weeks later, or like, it was probably longer than 3 weeks, but I was like, fuck me. That is my luck.
Trace, I am almost 110% sure, bro. If she didn't get hurt, bro, that bet would have cashed, bro. And I honestly not saying it still won't cash, but
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying like I'm
oh,
almost
oh yeah.
positive if she didn't get hurt, that would have cashed.
Yeah, bro. Like when
Listen,
they say she
I
was the Khabib female, like the female version of Khabib, she is, man. It like no one can stop her wrestling.
I would have to
she is my female John
I
Jones,
would have to log,
hands
dude.
down.
But she's getting old, bro. I looked at her age the other day. I forget what the age is, but I was like,
I know.
"Fuck, man, she's gonna age out because of injuries." Uh, I don't
Yeah,
remember what the
what
line
I
was.
mean
The
by
line wasn't something super crazy. I think it was like plus 4 or 500, maybe a little higher. I had to log into my bet online. I haven't been on there in forever, but yeah. So yeah, it's just like fuck, man. That is the story of her career, man. It could have been. I mean, she could have been one of the greats. Now she may end up being one of the great what could have.
Yeah, but I don't think 33 is that old for women's MMA in my opinion. Like I think it's getting up there, but like I still think there's a lot of time for her to do what she has to do because I mean, you got women that are 40 years old still doing the damn thing. I mean,
Yeah,
Val
but
for
if we give
instance.
her trend is what, fight 2 or 3 fights, tear a knee. I mean, that's another
Yeah.
3 years. So I mean, she's so talented, but she's just her knees and her from wrestling, man. Wrestling's such a such a what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, intense combat sport. It's the most intense as far as strain on the body. And yeah, man, it's just, she can't handle the wear anymore.
I think Tatiana Suarez. So I once heard maybe Dana White, if I'm being honest, say that John Jones is the greatest talent, pure fucking talent we have ever seen in MMA. And it resonated with me. And that's what I've always thought of John. Like, that's it. It's just pure talent. Dude, go get drunk, fucking party all week. He'll do whatever the fuck he wants. And he'll go out there and get it done. It's all talent. Injury injury ridden is her story, but I feel like Tatiana Suarez is the most naturally talented female fighter. Um, Not with the striking, but anywhere with the grappling that we've ever seen. I think in full health she could beat anybody at 125 or 115 tomorrow. Uh, yeah, I would die on that fucking hill. I would argue it till I was blue in the face if someone wanted to. Uh, Tatiana Suarez in good health can beat anybody in both of those divisions tomorrow, in my opinion. Uh, Whatever. I'm a mark though. I know that. So maybe, maybe not. I know if Usman was here, he'd be backing me the fuck up though for sure. Um, Trace obviously was going to take Tatiana versus Whaley, and Cade said he thinks it was going to cash. Mike, who were you taking in Tatiana versus Whaley?
Oh no, I believe Tatiana beats anybody in that division. I've always thought she was going to be champion, but shit keeps happening.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Fucking crazy story. You guys ever watch her documentary?
No, I didn't even know she had one.
Yeah, it's badass. I think it was on Max. You should definitely watch it if you can. That woman has been through fucking hell and back, and still fucking fighting. Still fucking fighting. Phenomenal story. Craziest shit ever that she's even number one in the world right now. And again, I think she could beat Whaley tomorrow in full health. Whaley in full health as well. To be fair. What else do I got here? Bobby Knuckles says his fight with Chimaev will be 5 rounds. He says, I don't know, it's like a co-main or something. We've seen them do 3 fights, 5 rounds on a pay-per-view when the pay-per-view doesn't have 3 title fights. They'll try to hype up the feature fight, which is weird because they won't just make it the co-main event. They'll try to hype the shit out of the feature fight, and then they'll go from there. Man, these boys on Dana White's Contender Series are fucking swinging right now. You guys see this shit?
Yeah, they getting after the big boys.
Uh,
Yeah, they ready.
I was on Bobby Knuckles the first fight whenever he was supposed to fight Hamzat before the fight got canceled and he fought the other
Ikram Alaskarov.
Ikram Aliskerov, and kind of sucks. I was gonna get a good number there. Probably won't get it as good as one now because of how good he looked against Ikram. But yeah, I'm still riding with Bobby on that fight.
I definitely was on Chimaev before the Ikram fight. If I'm being honest, you guys have heard me say that Bobby looked washed. I don't know that Bobby Knuckles ever gets back to a title, but I think he's probably got what it takes to beat Chimaev. I definitely he sold me. Um, Man, yeah, I think he can beat Chimaev. So, um, like you said, probably not as good of a line as it would have been before, but probably still get a good line on him. I assume he'll still be a dog, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I haven't looked lately, if I'm being honest. I make sure the website's working. I've been working on the studio, so my attention has been make sure I watch the cards and listen to as much as I can. Zabets, nice to see you grab a mic, bud. Get after it.
Yo, what's good, Joe? What's good, co-host? Everybody else, how we doing?
Not bad, not bad. Tuesday night contender series. Oh, that's
you
it.
see that?
What happened?
That's it. Knockout. Dana White contender series.
Hey, you know what? I put a few dollars on the other guy to win by knockout just because it was such a big tilted line. He was like plus 2,700 for KO round one. Even though he got knocked out, I feel pretty good about it. He fought for my money.
He did try to win you your money, bro. He was like, I'm gonna go out fucking swinging and get invited back. That's what I would say. Guys like that, even though that was a short performance and he got fucking dropped and knocked out, he went out there, swung, gave a fucking brawl, showed us a fight. He's probably more likely to get a call back to the contender series than a lot of other people. A lot of people who shoot takedowns and hold you against the fence and play it safe.
Bro, he could not have landed a cleaner punch than he did right there. That was perfectly set up.
Dude's so long,
Fucking
man. That's why he punched
Oh yeah,
right
he
through
said,
him.
"Oh yeah, here it is." He said, "Oof, I got him."
yeah, you seen Dana White get all excited?
Man, I knew this
Oh
was gonna
yeah,
be a
it's
banger.
like a. I think we got another Stephen Struve on our hands. Another big guy that's going to get caught all the time because he's got that tall man defense that he can't break. He's going to knock out some good guys, or not some good guys, but he's going to knock out some guys and get knocked out by a bunch of good guys. So I think we found another gatekeeper.
Is he a 7 footer? He looks like it.
He sits there.
6'8".
Man, that's up there. Rebellis is 6'8", right?
I believe so.
Ooh,
That'd be an interesting
yeah.
fight
I was just about to say that they should fight.
because
Yeah.
neither guy has defense, so it's just going to be who cracks first.
Man, I'm not gonna go look, but I bet you Rebellis is 6'7". I did run his stats once. Zabets.
Just to answer that question earlier, I honestly disagree with both you guys. I think Shemaev wins that fight, even in a 5 rounder. I mean, Hamshot. And another thing I wanted to like kind of bring up and see what your thoughts were was if they made all these fights 3 rounders, because like for example, this last weekend, she was obviously boring. I got cooked. The last 2 fights 5 rounders. If it was three, could have saved us some time. What are your thoughts?
What do you mean? Could have saved us some time?
Could have saved us our life from wasting watching the last 2 rounds of either fight, co-main event and main
Oh,
event.
oh, okay. Yeah, that was just you were bored. Okay.
No, but what do you
I
think
thought
about 3 rounders?
I enjoyed the Marab fight. I thought he looked fantastic. Honestly, man, like he put on a master class. It may not have been the most exciting, but I mean, dude, he fought the perfect fight.
I would say a 3 round dynamic does change a lot more than some people give it credit for. You'll
Oh
go
yeah,
out
like
there and fucking throw hands if you only got 3 rounds.
prime example. We were talking about Robert Whitaker and Hamzat. If it was a 3 round fight, I'm probably taking Hamzat. He probably in the first 2 rounds wins the first 2 rounds. It's rounds 3, 4, and 5 where I think Robert can take the fight. That's why in a 5 round fight, I'm all over Robert. 3 rounds, I would probably take Hamzat.
Yeah, it
So what
definitely
line do
does
you think?
favor Robert in that 5 round.
What do you guys? What line do you guys think I'm gonna get on Rob knockout round 4?
Oh, you'll probably get something like plus 1,800 or plus 1,600 easy.
Yeah, because that's the play right there. Rob by knockout round 4. Chimaev's tank ain't what he pretends it is, and I'm telling you guys, he caught. There's a couple of different conditions. He caught one of them conditions from post COVID shit, and he for sure has something going on with his lungs. Uh, I've been over it, and it's long to get into it. It could be a few different things. But yeah, I gotta believe that he's got one of those chronic illnesses with his lungs now, and man, I cannot see a world where his cardio gets any better by the day. I'll say it that way. It has to get worse by the day. I don't see how. I think Chimaev washes very early because I sincerely believe that he has lung issues, and it's just it's gonna fucking tear his longevity as a fighter up. Yeah, and I really believe that I'm into this space and into today's write up, but I did an in depth thing on that. Some of you guys might remember, and yeah, I'm absolutely convinced he's got something wrong with his lungs. So round 4 or 5, if they'll give me that one and let me get like plus 13 or 1400 on a round 4 or 5 KO Bobby Knuckles, man, that one will look real appealing. Bobby's got no problem going in round 5. Oh shit.
Y'all see that
MMA
announcement?
fighting. Yep. Very nice.
Oh hell yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Oh, but just to put it out there, I actually agree with Zabez. I think Shemaev is gonna get the job done. I think his power is just gonna be those first 3 rounds. I think he'll still be strong enough to wrestle Bobby Knuckles in the third round. But that round four, round five knockout by Bobby, I think that would be a perfect bet too. You can't not bet that.
Yeah, and it's definitely
Round
his.
round 3, 4, 5 on FanDuel all day.
Agreed. They'll give you 3, 4, 5. That's insane.
Yeah, but Bobby does that too.
They probably hammer you on the odds though, like plus 1800 on 3, 4 on a round four is probably on a 3, 4, 5. What you getting like +6, +9 on that?
What was the
Probably,
question?
probably it'll be a little bit less than a particular round bet.
Hmm. What I was saying, Trace, is if you're getting like +18 on a fourth round knockout, comparatively the round 3, 4, 5 knockout, what are you getting on that? Would you approximate +600,
If I'm
+900?
getting like if I'm getting plus 1,800 or something like that, like a four, like around four, or like a plus 20 something in around five, you're probably looking at plus 900 something like that for the groupings.
That ain't bad
But
at all.
honestly, I think you'll probably get better than that. I think, because like outside of that knockout, Robert hadn't had a finish in a long time. So unless they treat it like it's an outlier, or if they treat it like it's an outlier and just play his lines like they usually do, maybe a little bit less loose or a little bit more strict than they did last time. Like not as much value on it, but the early KO, I don't think he's live for the early KO. I think it's late, and with him knocking out Ikram in the first. Uh, yeah, I don't think it affects the value too much in the backside, so you'll probably get better odds than that. When is that fight? When is that a fight for?
Is it 308 or 309?
I thought it was in wait, I forgot.
Shemaev, Whitaker, Shemaev. It's not even showing it to me. 308, it says 308.
So that's like what, 2 months away?
Yep, October.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, it's really gonna matter like how big of a dog he is, or if he's a favorite. If he's a favorite, then the line will be obviously it'll be a lot less juicy. But if he's a good sizable dog, the line's gonna be huge. And even with the groupings just being like taking the safer odds, like I would put like a half unit on the groupings and maybe like a quarter or a eighth unit or something, so like whatever you want to do, like for a specific round. So I do think round 3 or 4 is probably where he gets it done. Especially if he falls off a cliff cardio wise, it's going to happen around there. That's when he's going to start slowing down. That's when Robert picks it up. So that would be the probably the most likely time for a finish.
Right now,
Man, yeah, I don't
Shemaev
know.
is minus 190.
I gotta
Well,
ask
that,
you
that's
guys.
that's before casual money comes in too, though, and the casual fighter's probably going to be on the Hamzat side. So unless sharp betters come in and push it to like a Pick'em or a Whitaker as a favorite, that's probably going to be a good side for the Robert Whitaker fight.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
What did you think of Chimaev after the Gilbert Burns fight comparative to what you thought of Chimaev before the Gilbert Burns fight?
I knew Gilbert Burns was going to be a tough test for him, but I also knew he was the stronger wrestler. I don't. Sometimes you can just watch. I like to watch wrestlers in action, see how their opponents react to them grabbing them and controlling them and all that. You can see that it is hard to get Shemaev off you, and it's hard to move him, which is exactly what you saw with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns could barely move the guy, and Shemaev was able to take him down. But as far as the striking goes, that did surprise me. He left himself open and got rocked pretty hard. But it doesn't change my opinion of him. I always knew he was going to be a good fighter, and he was going to be a challenge for anyone. But the 5 rounds, I always wanted to see him go 5 rounds because after Burns and then after Usman was another eye opener that like, oh, okay, so rounds 4 and 5 is going to be a real big question mark. We have to see him go through that. But as far as 3 rounds go, I think he can win a 3 round fight with anybody.
3 rounds, I think he can gas pedal to the floor and probably beat anybody. But I felt like after the Burns fight, that I felt like Hamzat was kind of exposed personally. I don't think they've given him a matchup to this point till maybe now that will be able to capitalize on everything that Gilbert showed us. But let's be honest, Chimaev was supposed to mock Gilbert, right? He was supposed to mock Gilbert and go to his title shot and be the fucking man. And the truth is, he didn't really mock Gilbert. Matter of fact, he didn't mock Gilbert at all. Um, Man, I cannot remember. I know I gave Gilbert. I cannot remember what rounds I gave Gilbert. But I definitely 100% remember feeling like Chimaev is not who people thought he was. Trace, go ahead.
Yo, you watching the Contender Series right now? This dude looks like he got the Hannibal Lecter mask tattooed on his face. Wild.
Yeah, I see that shit. I don't know if he's trying to sell a gimmick to scare people or something, but
I think
dude looks.
that's that. He's like he comes from that same tribe as like Kai Car France, that whatever it is, the Australian like Aborigines type stuff.
I got you. I got you. Um,
But yeah, that's commitment.
yeah.
Speaking of though, the other guy's Gilbert Smith's son. If you remember him from the Ultimate Fighter, he was the bowed up black guy with glasses. That was all. He was on 2 different seasons, if I remember right. But he's a very weird cat.
Never made it in the UFC, right?
I think he had a few fights.
Did he? Gilbert Smith?
That was back whenever, like, if you were on the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter, you pretty much got a fight off for the finale. Uh, yeah, back when they all had the finale fights for the entire cards, and even the guys that weren't in the finalists, they were on the show. If they did a good showing or a semifinalist, they got a fight in the UFC at least once.
So there was a point in time where I didn't really have a way to watch UFC other than I had access to some cable TV and I could catch tough um, reruns and some UFC. What was that shit called? Was it UFC Unleashed or some shit?
Oh yeah, that was goaded, bro. That was Spike TV days. That was the only way to get all your MMA in that you missed.
Yeah, bro. And it was dope. They would take any fight and make that shit a 30-minute special. 22 minutes of fucking footage, TV, 8 minutes of commercial, and bam, you are on to the next one. Three
Man,
round
Darren, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I, 3 rounds were my preference because you got a little bit more cinematics to it, and you got to see the whole fight. You sometimes when it was the 3 round fight, but if it was the 5 round fight, you 100% were not seeing any more than half of the fucking fight under no circumstances. Were you seeing more than half of the fight? Yeah, but I fucking loved that show. I'm sure you watched the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, that bully beatdown, all that stuff, man. During COVID, I even went back and rewatched most of the tough seasons that I hadn't seen in a long time, like all the way up to like tough 20, I think. But yeah, man, yeah, COVID, I did a lot of watching MMA.
Yeah, I haven't I have never went back and ran through all of the seasons of Tough. Uh, Man, that might be something worth fucking doing. Fuck, take you a long time though. What are they on season 88 or some shit now?
They're like, what are they gotta be close to like 35, or is it more than that? 36? I don't even know.
I
It's
think they're
fucking.
on
I
like
know it's.
33.
It's
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
pretty sure
challenge,
that's
man.
correct.
They just keep coming. And I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah. Um, Great show. Great show. I've always thought one of the UFC's biggest misses is not taking every season and making it a 90 minutes. Who fucking just make it 90 minutes. I can't believe they've never done it, or even 60 minutes uninterrupted.
I think it's
Just
harder now. It's harder now because like back then MTV like reality was huge. So it was like everybody was watching reality TV. Like whatever the show it was reality TV. It had the drama to it. We were gonna watch at least some of it. Uh Nowadays, man, like if honestly if I had to choose between Contender Series and Tough, I'm thinking Contender Series, man. Like the fights are just overall better because it's more talented fighters. I get it. You get better fighters by cooking them in the house, but put them in that pressure cooker environment to where you know, they're forced to get better because they have nothing else to do. But you get better fights off of this. I mean, this last season had good episodes or good fights on it, but Contender Series always puts off.
I agree 100%. And I don't know, but that I guess that's what I was trying. Like, I don't feel like Tough has. It doesn't even have the quality that a lot of other reality TV does, where you'll go back and rewatch it all. I don't feel like many people are binge watching Tough. Um, so that's all I meant. If you could take every season and pack everything into 60 fucking minutes, everything, the fights, the fucking coaching, the cut it all down, cut it all out, get rid of the dumb shit. Nobody cares about breakfast around the fucking table when they're talking. Cut it down to 60 minutes. I feel like you could probably see some people watch that. I know 60 minutes is some time, but I feel like that would get a lot of play. And if they could do it where it was like 4 minutes, 5 minutes per episode or something, and they could put up shorts of it, short videos of some of it. I think we could get a lot. I think they could get a lot of life out of it again. But I don't know. It's old, and a lot of people don't like to watch old fights. I grew up watching fights fucking on the. You guys remember when AMC and TMC used to actually play all the old boxing, black and white boxing shit, like on Sundays? Probably not, huh?
I was never like a huge fan of boxing. Yeah, so MMA caught my attention at a young age. That was always my focus.
So I just liked fighting.
I even dropped Brock Lesnar in WWE just to pick him up in the UFC.
um, yeah, I always liked wrestling, and then when UFC came out, I had to see it. I had to know, but I just didn't have access to it. I would say I was a fan because I would watch anything I could. If you got this tape or you got the fucking DVD, you got this, you got that, you got a way to watch it. I was in. We could just sit at your house and watch it. Boxing, fucking karate, any shit like that. Arm wrestling, shit. You guys remember arm wrestling? I used to watch fucking arm wrestling. Like, I don't give a rat's ass.
I
Tough
need to
man
watch Over the
competition.
Top.
You ever watch the tough man competitions?
Oh, dude, I used to the Tough Man. Is that which one is that?
The one where they throw like the kegs over the fucking.
Oh yeah. The big like the bodybuilding, the picking up the stones and all that stuff and tossing kegs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pulling
I used
buses
to
with their
watch all of
necks and
that.
shit.
Yeah, I used to watch all that, the tractor pulls, the hay bales, all that stuff. Yeah, and the lumberjack competitions, man. Them dudes scaling those them poles with the just the rope and their spike shoes. Shit's crazy, dude.
Oh
Chopping
yeah,
through
that shit.
logs. Used to watch all that.
Yeah, me too. I loved all that shit. American Gladiators. I know it's not quite the same, but bro, I watched. that was my childhood. So like I watched a lot of sports, and then when there weren't sports on, I would find where they were playing old sports. Anything combat to the front. Just because it was cool, not for any other reason other than it was, you're a boy growing. There's nothing cooler than combat, in my opinion. When I see 14-year-old kids and they're like, "Oh, you watch the fights," or when my kids have people over and these kids and they're kind of like, "Oh, your dad watches the fights," I think in my head like, get rid of that fucking kid. You don't want that type of kid around you. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't say that shit to my children, but I fucking think it.
What are you, a girl or something?
Yeah, like what? What do you mean? You two fucking nerds, you want to sit in the bedroom and play fucking video games? My kid he likes some fights. And if I tell him it's going to be a good fight, he'll come watch it. But sometimes his friends are like, "I don't want to." And I'm always like, "Man, you need to ditch this fucking kid." Whatever.
So, and that right there is how the fight nerds were born. People like you, Joe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Conor McGregor says he hopes to see cross partnership with the UFC. I shouldn't have put the word cross in my write up. He hopes to see partnership with the UFC and BKFC. Referenced McGregor, Mayweather, UFC. Back for that whole for Maymac. Uh, I don't know. I guess I would pose the question: what are the chances you think that any of that possibly happens, that the UFC lets Connor bare knuckle box? And then I'll throw some few more things out there. Connor says he's the most tested fighter in the UFC, 13 tests this year. Aldo is number two with 6 tests. He says he actually asked Turkey. He says that the UFC, well, he's the most tested athlete, and the UFC still will not give him a fight. And he even asked Turkey, Turkey Al Sheikh, or however you say it, to get involved and help him. They've given Chandler another fight. Chandler says, "I'm not Connor's not my next fight, but I'm his next fight. The only way back to the UFC is through me." Implies he has a contract. Canelo is now entertaining wanting to box Conor McGregor, even saying he'd knock him out in rounds 1, 2, or 3. Um, I don't know. Do you think they let him bare knuckle box? Do you think they fight him out, let him out of his contract? Do you think they're killing his career? Do you think they're squeezing him out at the end? Trace.
100% they'll let him do whatever he wants to do as long as it's going to keep his name in headlines and they're able to use that to their advantage, whether it's you tune in to see him get beat up or you tune in to see him win. As long as he's in the headlines and he has some star power to his name, I think they're going to ride that pony till it falls off, till the wheels fall off. Yeah, I think they squeeze him for everything that he's worth.
I did say to you guys a long time ago,
It's
BKF.
gonna turn into Dana White being like, or Connor being like, "Hey Dana, I'll come to this event for you." Nah, bro, we're good. We're okay. Enjoy your retirement.
I think that I've said this a long time ago. I think the BKFC is the UFC's perfect out to say we're not a monopoly, man. We can't share with other MMA promotions. That doesn't make any sense. But we let our guys bare knuckle box, and we've seen them do it. We know they've got guys locked under MMA contracts. Chad Mendez is locked under like a $50,000 or $60,000 fucking bullshit contract, but they let him go make bags over in BKFC. I think, man, I can't remember who else off my head, but I know there's several guys they've let go over while they keep them under contract. It's the it's one of the best possible things for them in the eyes of an antitrust lawsuit. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's possible. I wouldn't say that it's likely, but I would say that it is definitely possible. Why be?
All my homies hate Mike Chandler. Fuck Mike Chandler. He's gonna lose to Charles Oliveira.
which actually makes him more appealing to Conor McGregor for a return fight. Conor wants a
Connor's gonna
layup.
knock him out in a round.
Conor wants to bare knuckle box Jeremy Stevens at 170 pounds. Let's be very clear about that. He's actually said that. Zabet.
Um. So, do I think it's gonna hurt his legacy? That's a tough question. I don't think so. But didn't Connor also like back out of a fight? So what's he talking about? They're not scheduling him, dude. He broke his freaking pinky toe and couldn't fight. So yeah, I don't get it.
Yo, Joe, I just want to shout out Mike right quick, man. He dropped that over parlay, gave us his overplays for the week, put them all together, did a 3 leg and a 2 leg parlay on this contender series, and they both cashed. Good shit, Mike. If you don't follow Mike already, make sure y'all go follow him here at Better Times, man. The dude really does this shit.
Very nice. I got to start tailing and getting back into that shit. I've just become so preoccupied with trying to move along what we do a little bit. I haven't looked at any sheets in a couple weeks, if I'm being honest, boys. What do I got down here after Conor McGregor? So, what would have led into some fight announcements with Usman, but I've got some fight gossip, some fights accepted on the internet. Justin Gaethje said he wants to fight Charles, Dustin, Dan, or Volk. He's getting near the end. Dustin took to social media and said, I'm down. Then there were some more tweets where he replied to fans saying he definitely wants one more fight. Um, Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier is probably weirdly a double retirement fight. Justin has made it very clear that's not a war he wants again. I think Dustin has too. It's, not one that they wouldn't take. Man, sorry about that. Shit.
Don't be burping in my ear, bro.
Actually, bro, I sneezed and I held that shit in. And I might
Don't be,
almost.
don't be doing that either.
Oh, man, I got
Bless
all
you,
them.
bless you, dog.
Thank you. I got all them fucking neck problems, man. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just let it go, made you guys fucking hear it. Whew, that shit almost dropped me out of my seat. Um, anyways, scale of 1 to 10 in 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 today's UFC, how excited are you to see the two of them retire together? And do you think they retire together, Trace?
Who's that?
Gaethje and Poirier.
Are they fighting?
They've kind of accepted it on the internet against each other.
Uh, I mean, that would be a good one to go out on. But I feel like whoever wins that fight probably thinks they're back into a title contention again, and probably just fights way too long because they beat another guy that was almost on the way out. At least in mindset wise, if not in skill. Uh, yeah, I think Gaethje. If Gaethje wins that fight, Gaethje definitely thinks he's back in line for a title contention. And he might be, but yes, that's a tough division, man. It's a young man's division.
Gaethje says he's got one or two left. Dustin's pretty firm. He's got one left. Dustin's pretty firm. His next one is his last one, no matter what. So, and Justin has made it clear like he would fight him, and he thinks great fucking fight, but he says putting his body through that again is basically said, that's the type of fight that you do that again and that's it. It's over. Um, I don't know, man. I would love to see the two of them do it again, but at some point, maybe that damage isn't worth it, boys.
Also,
I'm
Diaz makes a lot of sense too. Dustin and Diaz have been around for a long time and never fought each other. It would be a striker's delight. I mean, less hype on it than it would have been because obviously Nate doesn't look good anymore. But yeah, if he came back to his former glory and just had one last Nate Diaz fight, that would be a good fight to go out for Poirier to go out on.
How many fights you think Connor's going to sign Nate to in BKFC?
I think Nate would not work for Connor. I think he would not allow his ego wouldn't allow that.
Man,
You would get footage of them fighting backstage all the time.
I think Poirier, Gaethje, man, I think all them dudes are candidates for BKFC contracts. If I'm being honest, I just do. I just do. Sean Strickland says he's got the DDP fight under. It makes it sound like he's got a contract. They're just trying to figure out the date. That's a good fight. Dana says he's going to Africa no matter what in 2025 and wants to take DDP. So that might be a fight Sean waits 8 or 9 months on. Um, yeah, Dana has definitely said he is going to Africa in 2025. It says that DDP deserves it. And I think that DDP is going to hold out for that, knowing that he's talking about Dana's going to do it. So I think Sean Strickland has to wait 7 to 9 months to fight DDP. I don't know that it really fucks the division up that bad though. You think it hurts 185 if Strickland and DDP don't fight till after the after mid year, Trace?
Uh, I mean, not really, because we still need to sort out who's next for the winner of that fight, really. So I feel like you have a little time. A little stagnant, but yeah, I don't think it really hurts the division, honestly.
Me either, and that's why I think it's likely. Uh, Kevin Lee said he was willing to fight on the Dana White Contender Series again to get back in the UFC and prove how serious he was. He then announced that he is fighting November 15th, bare knuckle MMA at Gamebred FC. I'm glad to see Kevin can still make some money, but I hope he's just trying to put some money into his food business. I hope that that's why he's trying to get some fights, is to get some money into his other businesses, not to prove that he can be a contender again. Trace.
Nah, man, he's just at this point just trying to stay in the limelight, trying to live off of some famousness. I think he just wants to be a name again. I think it won't be long before we see him on his brother's TikTok doing eating uh, reviews with him as well. Just trying to chase some kind of stardom because that's where he's at in his career as far as MMA. He's not going to be nobody as far as a bare knuckle boxer. He was a wrestler. He wasn't a boxer. Uh, yeah, man. It's of the wrestlers that have went over there, Chad Mendez. He makes the least sense because Chad Mendez had knockout power and had knockouts with his hands a couple times in his career, whereas most of his came from wrestling outside of that head kick against Gregor Gillespie, which was a probably a fluke if anything. But
Now,
yeah,
this is BK MMA, Trace.
what was that, Game Bread?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I said.
Okay,
Game
okay,
bread.
okay. I just heard bare knuckle.
I still think all that shit you said pretty much applies, though. Like, man, you ain't helping yourself none, Kevin. You ain't helping yourself none, in my opinion.
He just needs him a nice little ease of schedule where he's just fighting strikers that are one dimensional that he can go in there and shoot blast doubles, and that's all it takes. Because if he's one of those guys that if he can just get somebody down and keep him down, he probably can win in bare knuckle because he's probably gonna be able to put a lot of damage on a boxer over there. But as far as like a complete fighter, if anyone ever goes over there, which if you're a complete MMA fighter, you probably aren't doing bare knuckle anyways. Like you probably see Melvin Gillard there before long. That's just the kind of people it's going to attract. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. Yeah, I get you. I get you. And I get what you're saying about him still just trying to live out some of that fame. I'll be honest, man. None of us have ever had any of it, but I'll bet if we did, we'd try to hold on to it too. So I'm not mad at him for trying to stay relevant in some type of limelight um, at all. Like I said,
Hell no, dude. I would Adam Sandler that shit. I would just be walking down the street in my trench coat with a jar of pickles, dog.
oh man, uh, yeah, that bro. I'm not mad at him in any way for that. I just hope that he is trying to make some money through whatever he's doing now towards whatever he's doing next, like whatever fight wise towards whatever he's doing now. I believe he's got a food truck, and he wants to get to the point where he has a restaurant and some other things. Um, I hope Kevin gets it done, man. I hope I go out to Vegas one day next year and eat at his food truck because I think it's in Vegas. So, uh, here's to hoping. I don't know. We'll fucking see. Mike Goldberg says he would return to the UFC as a commentator. Well, surprise, surprise, Mike. No shit, you'd fucking return. Not a single one of us are surprised that you said you'd go back to the UFC if you could. I don't know. Like the way he said it, someone asked him and he made it sound like, if they wanted to ask, I'd probably do it. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You probably think about it 3 times a week to this day, wishing they'd call your ass back. And I don't want to fucking hear him because all I'll think about is the old video games. It's all I'll think about. And I don't want to fucking hear him. Jorge says that he's returning to MMA, says that he will fight, said he would have fought Chandler. Maybe he had heard that Chandler was getting ready to take a fight, or he wants the Leon fight. I think the Leon fight's the only thing he can sell at this point. You guys excited to see Jorge Masvidal come back to MMA?
Just go back to boxing. Like, what? He just needs to like fight something where they're going to be forced to strike with him. Be like, go fight in bare knuckle FC. Like, go win money and beat from BKFC to funnel into your bare knuckle organization. You know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%. Yeah, I think
I mean, that's where he started. That why not go back to it? I mean, I get it. He's probably he should be sitting well, but like that's where he started. Why not end it there?
I think he wants the fame, man. I think Corey is one of them guys who probably would never admit it out loud, but he wants to make that UFC walk again. He wants, like his own promotions are great and all, and I've heard he actually makes small profits. Small in relevance to the MMA game, but good money for himself. But it's not really relevant, man. It doesn't really make him the guy. I don't know how to explain it more than that. I think he misses being the guy. Um, yep, that's what I think. And I think he sees an opportunity to get a Leon fight that Jorge could probably make $1 million for that Leon fight. He could probably get them to pay him $1 million to take that Leon fight. So uh, I think he's chasing a paycheck, which is I'm not mad at it at all. But I just think that's what it is.
Hey Joe,
Did you approve? Go ahead,
what
Zach.
do you think about him facing Colby one last time? Then that's it for game break.
I don't think that beef sells. I don't think it sells, to be honest. Yep, I just don't. I don't think that shit delivered before, and I think it's got to be Leon. I don't even think Michael Chandler was a good idea. I think if Jorge, I don't know. For me, if he wants a big bag, it's got to be Leon. They could main event those two somewhere. on a good card too. You could put him in like Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, where them boys are paying good money for the card and they want a big fight. Uh, they pay 20-30 million appearance fees. Like, you don't need a gate. They're giving you 20-30 million just to show up. And they want good fights over there. So I think Jorge versus Leon is a easy UFC Saudi Arabia or UFC Abu Dhabi main event. And I think they're excited to have it over there. So I think that's the one. And if he can't get that one, he's going to chase Tony Ferguson. Like, I'm joking, but I'm not. Ruben Carter, who a lot of people say is full of shit, announced Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. He actually said it was in the works for December, I thought he said. But a lot of the other outlets have picked it up now. Some of them more credible than he is. And they're saying UFC 311 in January. I guess Nick Diaz versus Tony Ferguson makes sense for both of them, but where the fuck is Bellator, man? This is what Bellator is supposed to be doing. This is what Don Davis fucked up. This is what Bellator is supposed to be doing. And now we got to watch this shit in the UFC. That's how I sincerely fucking feel about it. God damn. I'm going to watch. I'm going to complain. But I'm going to watch. Where do you think it gets placed on the card, Trace? If it's UFC 311, pay-per-view event, Tony Ferguson, Nick Diaz, is this even on the main card? Trace is not there. Well, that's all right. Man, I got a hard time believing that they wouldn't put it on the main card.
What was the
But
question, bro?
so if Tony Ferguson and Nick Diaz is on UFC 311, is it a
Man,
main card fight?
honestly, no. I mean, that's probably like maybe your prelim headliner. Wow. Uh, but I don't think it makes main card.
I think it's the second fight on the main card. And the only reason I think they put it on the main card is because I believe if you made that the main event of the prelims, nobody would buy the fucking main card. I think that's going to be a really bad fight. Um, I hope it's not going down. Usman, nice to see you in the room, man. Get after it.
Somebody tell this old man to shut the fuck up, man. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna be happy. And damn right it's gonna be on the pay per view. Because despite all this losing, the boys got drawing power still. Let's go, Tony Ferguson. Let's make it 9 losses and give Nick Diaz a win. What world are we living in, fuckers?
Dana's gonna let him hit 10 losses before he makes him quit, man. I've been telling you guys all along he don't like Tony. Um, well, okay, in the spirit of talking about Tony Ferguson and Usman's here, just in time. So BJ Penn can finally retire on a W. Did you guys see he posted pictures of a man named Pete? He says, hi everybody, meet Pete. Pete found out that he's allergic to hitting my daughter. Pete was laid the fuck out in the streets, man. Face was blurred out. I thought it was Usman for a minute, and then I realized it probably wasn't him because he was at 306. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Pete hit BJ Penn's daughter, and BJ Penn laid him the fuck out. B, BJ better never fight again ever in his life. That's
Let's
it.
go. Old
That's his.
dogs are up, baby. Old dogs are up.
You ain't lying. He better retire on the dub though, bro, because that's it. He been waiting a lot. He got beat up outside of bars and clubs and shit, choked out on corners. He been getting fucked up trying to get a W, man. He better retire on the dub now. I better never see his ass in a fight again. Old ass BJ Penn. He had like the worst losing streak in the UFC, then left and had the worst losing streak for a pro fighter after post career ever. BJ had it rough, bro. Um, Dana White gave Robbie from Barstool Sports 20 grand for his wedding. Hey, nice gesture. I got two more topics, guys. So Francis Ngannou. Don Davis says that they will spend more on Francis Ngannou's return event than the UFC spent at the Sphere. And he said then they will be giving all that money to the fighters. He's full of shit, man. He says they pay more than the UFC. He's full of shit. He just paid 3 and 3 2 weeks ago. 3,000 and 3,000. 3,000 to win, 3,000 to show. 2 weeks ago. San Diego. What was it? 3 weeks ago? San Diego. Paid motherfuckers 3 grand to fight. Out here running his mouth talking about we're going to spend more than the UFC. That's because you're a fucking sucker. And there's no way anyway. Even if Francis is getting 10 million guaranteed, which I highly fucking doubt. I highly doubt they could actually guarantee him that. So Francis at 10 million guaranteed and his opponent at 3 million guaranteed, they still aren't going to spend that $20 million on fighters. No fucking way. They can put every big fighter they have on. They're not letting anybody that makes 800 grand or more a fight. It's pretty clear. They're holding them motherfuckers back. They finally put Cyborg on there. She's 800 grand to fight. You know, Larissa's probably getting fucking half of that, a fraction of that, 250,000 tops to fight. Um, I don't buy it, and I think some of that's got to be based on pay-per-views, and pay-per-views just nobody's gonna buy that shit. Trace, are you buying Francis Ngannou's return against I don't know, that one guy he's returning against?
Buying a PFL event? No, sir.
Mike, are you buying that Francis Ngannou card where he's returning against I don't know the guy's name. That guy, are you paying for that? Mike ain't even answer me. That's cool. Zabets, Usman.
That's
Either
how
you
much
guys
he's not buying that.
that's what I'm saying. Either one of you guys paying for the Francis Ngannou return card?
I'm sorry.
I,
What were you saying? I'm putting my kids to bed. What was going on?
I just want to know, are you paying for the Francis Ngannou return card?
Oh, I actually usually pay for PFL events, but I kind of don't feel like doing that with this one. I might just stream it.
Usman, you giving your money to the PFL?
I've never given them $1, but you know what? I will be buying off of streamies.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Are they the ones that called out Dana White and said, "Try it, bitch"? I don't think he knows.
If
Oh,
not, they should have. They're the undefeated champs.
they did. Oh, he put the thumbs up. It was them. Some of them. So one of the streaming companies went to social media after Dana said, "You prosecute him. That's how I stop it." And they said, "We fucking dare you to try." We got server farms on top of server farms. They went off on his ass and said, "Have at it." Um, as bonus, they also stream PFL. So, all all right, if I'm being honest, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna stream it and watch it. I'm probably not, guys. I don't even watch PFL fights. They're man, the only
Well, if you
person.
watch Contender Series, you just watched a PFL level event today.
Tell me,
This was a
you're telling me that dude on the screen right now, big dude, just got the TKO, couldn't knock out 92% of the PFL roster right now. You're crazy.
I don't know, man. He's getting pieced up by a 220er, but yeah, I think he probably has just as much of a chance to knock out Ngannou as probably Renan Fahea does.
You think that they'll? I mean, you think who they gonna throw in there against him? Roy Nelson. I'm just fucking around. Uh,
Roy fucking Nelson.
yeah, this guy.
He better hope not. Roy hit that bomb on him. He'll step and struve him too.
Put his ass out fucking cold.
Hey, you can't have that tall man defense against him because he'll find that chin with that big old overhand meat hook.
Uh, man, am I disconnected here? Nope, just the browser is disconnected. Hold on a second here. Last thing I got, I won't get too much into it. I'm not taking pleasure. Anybody here that follows me will easily be like, yeah, we know what side you're on, fucker. And I'm okay with that. But man, I just want to say that I think there's a very good chance that the reason the antitrust lawsuit got tossed back is because Judge Boulware is has very strong ties to the American Constitutional Society. Uh, it's a program that can't tell you how they exist without explaining to you that they only exist to combat the Federalist workers. It's Democrat, Republican shit, whatever. Moral of the story is that Judge Boulware is considered a prominent figure amongst the ACS and is highly endorsed by them. He was put into place by Barack Obama as part of what many would consider like a DEI program. It's actually when Obama first started talking about it, which I'm not actually complaining about diversity in judges or anything like that. But what I'm saying is he really has fit a model for a certain side and been highly endorsed by them and definitely seems to align with them in every single way possible. The ASC has been publishing anti-Trump literature. You can search any year and just type in asc.org or ascnews.org, I think it is, and just put in any date range you want. And they're a super anti-Trump outlet, which fine. I'm not talking politics. Fine, that I don't care. Um, they're an anti-Trump outlet. On the flip side, we know that Dana White is a huge Trump supporter. So I don't know. There's a lot of reason to believe that Boulware may have underlying reasons to dislike Dana White that even if never voiced out loud could, in my opinion, cloud his ability to make fair decisions. And that's not because he's on one side and Dana White's on the other. That's not at all what I'm saying. If it was flip sides politically, I would still agree. I feel like a case like this should be probably tried by a small panel of judges, not one judge. And I didn't think that was. I was surprised that the amount was so low myself. So if it's really just a matter of more funding for him to approve it, I redact everything I'm saying now. And we'll say that I'm wrong. But It certainly seems like that could be an underlying reason. Whatever, that's my stint on that. I seen that someone posted that Patty Pimblett just broke the chicken wings record at a local restaurant. The previous record was 36 wings. He ate 47. He also had desserts afterwards. Is that like 47 untimed or was it a timer? Who watched that? Who put that
I
up
did.
there?
It was untimed, I think.
Man, I don't feel like 47 wings is that much chicken.
Depends on where you get them from, buddy. I don't know, man. I've been making fun of Tom for a while, but Tom can only eat like 20 wings, so it's pretty funny that a 155 or like triples up on him.
Man, you watch Hot Ones? Anybody in here watch Hot Ones?
I seen
No.
a little bit, some clips here and there.
So I watch Hot Ones. I like Hot Ones. I usually just watch when fighters go on there. Derek Lewis is a good watch, man. Uh, Good show. I was just gonna tell you, man. If you got a Panda Express near you, they got a Hot Ones recipe now. It ain't that hot, but just to fucking tell you, they got a Hot Ones recipe now. Um, YB, seen you grab a mic, bud. What you got? I don't even know what happened. Man, can everybody hear this?
I don't hear anything other than you.
It's telling me I can play the background music right now. I just wanted to know if I could. Nah, it won't let me. YB, go ahead.
Whenever you asked that, all I heard was, "Do you youngins watch Hot Ones on YouTube?"
Listen here, youngin. I don't want to hear shit about it. Nothing about it. If you don't watch it, you need to because you're young and you need to learn some shit. That's all I got tonight, guys. I like to get in here and do it every week, even on weeks when there's no fights. I think it's important. Usman, you got any fight announcements you can throw out there?
Yeah, we have a quick 10 fight announcements. I don't have them in chronological order. Was busy today, so my bad. Let me pull them up though. Obviously, it was pinned and thrown up there. Nothing official, but everybody's talking about the rumored bout between Tatiana Suarez and Verna Jandiroba.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about Tatiana earlier. Everybody in here pretty much calls her to go. So, whatever. I
I
mean,
mean,
maybe not.
we
I could see Suarez going in there, mauling Berna, and then turning around if barring the injury, man. I mean, like I said, no one's been plagued with the injury bug more than her in MMA, or at least for women's MMA for sure. But yeah, I can see her steamrolling and going on and fighting Whaley from there at the end of the year, which would look really good for my future. December 31st. We just got to get there before then.
Yeah, I think she can do it. I think she can do it. Uh, I already know who Usman's taking in that fight.
so yeah, we'll just skip over. We know we're all team Tatiana. There's no need to talk about it. Um, but in his
Wait. Hold on. Pause. Wait. I do want to throw out there. Trace, you know that she had cancer?
Tatiana,
Yeah.
I don't recall that
yeah,
actually.
that's what pulled her out of the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she may have some issues with injuries. People that have been treated for cancer go on later to be more easily injured. Um, Different things that we don't have to get into, but she could. Um, some of that could really go back to that. Is all I'm saying. She's also had. I know she had a neck injury, right? And then she fucked up her ankle. Was it her ankle last?
I don't recall our injuries. I do know, as far as stylistic wise, this is a good matchup for her. It's not somebody that's gonna give her too much trouble on the feet. Somebody that is willing to play on the ground, willing to give up position to get to the ground. And realistically, at a high level, when you're a high level wrestler, it's hard to get a submission off your back in today's MMA. So it should be, if not a finish, a pretty convincing 30-27 for her, I feel like.
Yeah, me too. Um, Bro, I just typed this in. It says she tore her ACL, LCL, MCL, and meniscus during training. What
Don't worry,
kind
we
of
still got that. We still got that PCL, baby. That's all we need.
where the fuck are you training? Like you training at the fucking Winter Die Academy? Like what the fuck is going on? Um
Shooting
anyway,
blast doubles on Water Buffalo.
Usman, my bad, bro. What else you got?
It's Patchy Mix throwing her in 15 submissions per night. He's ripping every freaking ligament in her legs.
Don't be nasty now, bro.
I'm talking about actual jujitsu. UFC Edmonton, November 2nd. Sometimes the fades line up perfectly. A Canadian making his 135 debut. Charles Jourdain will fight Victor Henry. That's all I need to know. He's going down in weight, and he's a Canadian in Canada. Fade him.
Agreed.
Henry, brother, hit this guy so many times.
Yeah, Henry is definitely the side there. Um, I don't know. I wish him success, though. I wish him success. What else you got?
Uh, what's his name? Marcos Rogerio de Lima is out of his fight against Kennedy Nzechukwu, and the new opponent will be Justin Tafa, UFC 308, October 26th, Abu Dhabi.
I seen
So
that.
is Zetchiku just not? Is he a heavyweight now? Is he just not fighting the lower divisions anymore? Because like, if anything, I feel like if that fight being canceled, well, if I was a late notice replacement, I would just drop out. But instead, they're giving him another heavyweight to fight. So is he making the move to heavyweight permanent, or is he just testing the
No,
waters?
this is going to be his heavyweight debut in the UFC.
Okay, fair enough. Very interesting, man. That could bring a lot of, at least a rising prospect in that division, man. Like the kid's got power, and if the chin issues is linked to him cutting down to 205, maybe he's a problem.
We'll see. I don't know. I think a lot of guys are starting to see. I feel like a lot of 185ers feel like they see a lot of opportunity at 205, and I feel like a lot of 205ers feel like there's a lot of opportunity at heavyweight. And I don't think any of them are wrong. And I think that for Kennedy, his chance to move up and get in good spots within the division, he probably sees better paths at heavyweight. And I don't blame him at all. I think for him and for his style, heavyweight is probably a much better place for him to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if he stays there, Trace.
Yeah, yeah. It just depends on if the chin is an issue. If he can't take a shot, if it continues to prove it's just that he's got a bad chin, and that chases him up to the division, then he's probably gonna get knocked out a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's fair too. Usman, who you taking in that fight? Who you betting on in that fight?
You know, Kennedy Nzechukwu is my boy, and all he has to do is avoid a big bomb from Tafa. Hopefully, get a takedown. So we're going with Nzechukwu.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Tafa either. Mike, you taking Tafa?
No, I would take Kennedy, especially this is a much easier matchup for him than Delima.
Yeah, them Lima leg kicks or something else.
Yeah, that shit is insane is for that division. What else you got, Usman?
Zinchuku also got some sneaky stubs. Jermaine Durandamy is out of her fight against Nora Cornoli. That's not.
No,
I know
no,
you
you
did
had
just
it
do
That
right.
that.
wasn't a joke. That was
You
just a misspeak. Yeah. Anyways, Nora Cornoli will now fight Jacqueline Cavalcante. at UFC Paris, September 28th. So Cavalcante just won about 2 weeks ago, and she's turning it around quick, and will be on next week's card.
Well, good for her. Yep, that's all I have. GDR never fights again.
Yeah, well, at this point, it's like, who cares? You know, she chose a weird time in her career to have a kid, and her to be the one that gets pregnant of all. Uh, and then, like, if you do that if you do that at that age, you would assume that she's just going ahead and retiring. But no, she decided to have a kid and then come back. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to get invested in her. She's a bit of a dirty fighter, honestly, for women's MMA. Like
Bro, you took
multiple
the
team
words out
shots
of
to
my
her
mouth.
career. But yeah, like if she never fights again, nobody but Jermaine Durand and me probably cares.
You took the words right out of my mouth about her being a dirty fighter, and it just, like, listen, we all laugh about, not laugh, but we all call a lot of people dirty fighters, like John Jones with the eye poke, Stipe, DC with the eye pokes. Like, we get after a lot of guys, and I throw them guys out there on purpose because we like them. GDR was just fucking dirty. She just hit you after the bell, rocked the shit out of you. Best fucking punches in the fights come after the bells ring. Like, she's just a dirty fucking fighter, and it doesn't make you like her. Um, yeah, I like you just said. Probably she will care, and that's about it. Usman, what else you got?
We talked about Ramiz Brahimaj on our post earlier today. He makes his return to the UFC on November 16th, Madison Square Garden against Mickey Gall, UFC 309.
They trying to throw him a layup?
That's what it seems like.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, here, kid, alley oop. If you can't put this shit away, you're off the fucking
A
team.
layup for who, though?
Uh, man. I mean, well, I just feel like it's a get back, right?
For who? The ear or Gall? I really don't know.
It should be a layup for
Not
Brahim, because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not Mickey Gall, bro. Mickey Gall is the layup.
like Brahim is like a monster grappler early, so he should be able to finish him. But if Mickey Gall can survive, I think it'll get tricky because Gall's got some pretty good striking.
Mickey's not actually bad. I don't care for him much for whatever reason. So I always hate on him, to be fair.
And that is a home court advantage for Mickey Gall.
Oh, geez. What else you got?
Next fight we got Karolina Kowalkiewicz against Denise Gomez at UFC 100 Apex, November 9th, UFC Vegas.
Damn, bro. I like old Carolina. Why they do her like that?
That's actually a good matchup. I'm not
Yeah,
really. I'm not. I don't think Carolina's at a disadvantage here. Denise Gomes' striking is. I don't think it's that great.
yeah. To be honest, I like that matchup because KK, even though she's an old girl, she still has a hell of a fucking chin on her. Denise Gomes is gonna be knockout or bust. I like KK to make it dirty and get that split decision win.
Well, I hope that she does, but I think she's going to be at a serious power disadvantage. Even with shittier striking, I think Carolina will wear it worse. And I think Denise Gomes will probably bloody her ass up and take the dub.
A rematch absolutely nobody was asking for. Same, no, not same card. UFC 309, November 16th, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler.
It's free money though.
Yeah, for sure. Charles all day. Can't wait.
He's a
especially
good.
at this price. He's a minus 260.
Damn, he should be minus fucking 400. Charles gonna fucking put it on Mike. I don't know. Maybe Mike's been training this whole time and we're not prepared for what we're about to see. But my money says Charles Oliveira beats the shit out of Michael Chandler.
I mean, he's been training this whole time, but he's also 39 years old now.
Well, I don't
Yeah, I
even
mean
think. Go ahead.
he's been lifting weights this whole time. We know that. I don't know. I just don't think Mike's UFC guy, man. I really like him. He could have retired as the biggest what if maybe in MMA, like Fedor level maybe. What if? But that shit's just out the window.
So a little bit of drama. Nate Landwehr versus Austin Hubbard was announced for UFC 307 October 5th. And according to Austin Hubbard's Instagram, he is looking for a new opponent. So I guess that fight isn't happening.
Nate Landwehr's out, huh?
Dems the rumors.
Man, I like Nate. Hope everything's working out for him. That's all I'd say. I like Nate.
The fight everybody has been asking for is finally announced, and we knew exactly what card it was going to be on. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, UFC 309, November 16th in Madison Square Garden.
Wow, I can't believe they made that fight. That's crazy. I never seen that coming. Holy crap, that's so huge.
The final fight of John Jones' career.
Yeah, I think so, boys. And I don't think it's a Tom. John is afraid of Tom. Anybody who's got to say it that way, kiss ass. It's just not that. Yeah, whatever. I think that's it for John and Stipe. So, bye. I don't know. John's great, but whatever. Bye. You don't fight that much anyway, so it's not like we're gonna fucking miss you. Um, Anybody betting Stipe?
Not after the way Jones looked at UFC Noche, man. He looked lean and mean. He actually looked like he was in really good shape. Um, I was talking about John Jones and Jamal Hill carrying a lot of that weight in their face, and John Jones looks slender in the cheekbones, man. He looks like he's been hitting the weights hard.
I agree. Uh, I agree. I agree with everything you said. You know me, put the house on John Jones. He ain't never let you down yet. So put the fucking house on John Jones.
Well, he's at like a minus 500 now. He went from 4 to 5, I think, within the last week. So by the time the fight happens, you might want to just look at a prop.
John Jones by submission, round two.
Well, it's okay because this other fight that I'm about to talk about, you're gonna put that house on it. Quickly buy a house within the next 2 hours, finish the paperwork, and then put both houses on John Jones because Bo Nickel will fight Paul Craig at UFC 309 November 16th, Madison Square Garden.
What kind of money we getting on Bo
Yeah, what's
Nickel?
the odds on him?
He's a minus
Because I'm
1,000.
taking
Fuck.
it.
Fuck.
That's where he belongs. I thought we would see something crazy dumb on him, like minus 250 or something. He belongs at minus 1,000.
Wait, are you
Whatever,
sure?
man.
Versus Paul Craig?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. Charles is like a 260. John is a minus 5. And Bo Nickel's a minus 1,000. I figured that's the parlay for that card.
and you
Man,
and
I'm
you'll
going
get
down.
and you'll get minus 105 for that fucking parlay.
Hey, that works though. You could throw the mortgage on that minus 105.
Listen, Bo Nickel. I'm on our site now, Cap MMA. Charles Oliveira, John Jones. According to the few books that are reporting all three of those fights right now, Unibet, Leo Vegas, Grosvenor, Tab Touch. Those are the only ones that. Oh, wait. No, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm looking, man. The best possible line you can get on it is minus money. Minus 108 is the best line you could get on taking all three of them right now. You can't even get plus money on
What
this
I
shit.
say, I'm the human parlay, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, fucking minus minus 108. God damn, ain't that a bitch? Take a fucking fight parlay, 3 money lines minus 108. Um, Everybody's going to be betting. I'll bet you see line movement against Bo Nickel at some point. I would bet you do. Usman, on that same card, did you see that they announced Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes?
That was like 7 years ago, but I guess it's official now, or what?
No, it's not even on the card. Anthony's like, bro, I'm fighting in December at T-Mobile. I got a contract. I don't know what they're talking about.
But I mean, it was announced a while back. Anthony Smith versus. Oh, you're talking about the error from Noche. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. That they said it would be on 309.
Huh. There was another one too, right? That wasn't supposed to be on there.
Is Chris Weidman, Eric Anders not supposed to be on there?
Um.
Or is it Arujo versus Silva?
Oh, that was the issue. Natalia Silva has already beaten Vivian Araujo. There was supposed to be Karine Silva versus Vivian Araujo, and no, that wasn't Kendrick Lamar. It was Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, we talked about that already. Um, Karine Silva kills Vivian. Karini Silva kills Viviana Rouge.
That's where you just hit submission and you don't worry about nothing.
Karini Silva submission probably, but knockout plausibly, bro. Karini Silva will beat the shit out of Viviana Rouge, in my opinion. The fight that I am waiting to see, that I don't, the one that you're going to hear the big divide on for me. How long before you think we see Natalia Silva versus Karini Silva?
You save that shit for a belt. Like, you do not put that as a title eliminator. You save that for the belt.
I agree. I fucking 100% agree. That is man, that's a holy shit. I hope we get to see that fight one day fight for me.
You think
And
Silva's
I
gonna
hope we
win the
get to
belt?
see it. I'm at this point, I would take Karini Silva.
Wait, which Silva are you talking about, Mike?
I'm talking about Natalia because she's obviously closer to getting a title shot than Karini.
I think Natalia beats both Grasso and Shevchenko and Furo. Because Furo's the damn diarrhea toilet paper of that division.
Man, Manon's probably gonna get that fucking belt and hold that shit for like 3 years, and all of us are gonna be like, "What the fuck,
No,
man?"
she ain't. She's gonna get the belt off of Shevchenko, sure, but after that, she's gonna get fucking flatlined because I've been telling y'all that she's absolutely garbage in her fucking defense, and somebody's gonna catch that fucking stupid ass head movement.
I mean, I I feel like women's MMA is taking a huge nosedive in the UFC right now. Um, Man, Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena, that whole shit is needed badly right now. Crossing my fingers that Tatiana makes it back. What else you got?
Final fight of the night, Navajo Sterling, who just won last week on Dana White's Contender Series, will fight Tuco Tokos at UFC Tampa December 14th.
Nobody cares.
But the guy's name is Tuco Tokos.
I know. I know. I know. Fucking, is that it?
That's it.
Well, goddamn, 2 hours and we are done. Thank you for making it in here tonight, boys. I know it shows when there's no fights and fucking headlines are low because the big card just passed, or they're a little rough. But I like to be here every week. I'll get the studio set up soon, and we'll be doing that. Anybody that's retuning or re-listening, capmma.com, allinforbettertimes.com. I ain't been there in a couple weeks like a jackass, but Usman does a great show on Sunday nights, Cash or Trash, right here on Twitter, on Spaces, on X, on Spaces. Twitter is the habit. Usman, I see the hand up. Go ahead, bud.
Just a quick question because I haven't looked at any lines or anything like that. But Eileen Perez from next week against Zalesnikova. Mike, what are we betting in that fight? I mean, obviously over, but is it Eileen by decision?
Well, I haven't got to that fight yet. I only got the first two fights done. So the only thing I do remember from the Russian lady is that she has really good takedown defense. So yeah, it's just a matter if I think she'll be able to stop Eileen because Eileen is strong, way stronger than she looks. So
Hasn't taped it yet. Jesus Christ, this guy. I mean, the worst work ethic, horrible picks. It's like,
bro, well, first off, I just finished two cards for this week. I'm gonna have Cage Warriors and LFA picks for y'all. Now I'm gonna finish UFC.
that's my boy. That's my boy. We up 4 units. We up 4 units for contender series. That's my boy. Mike can't cap for shit, but man, he picks winners.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Aline is like minus 278, minus 286, minus 250, depending on where you look, Usman. So you ain't making no money on that shit. Take the over, son. You know where that shit's going. Um, Anyways, that's gonna be the show. We ain't got to drag it out. I'm looking forward to YouTube. Everybody that's in here right now, particularly, I don't know. I assume the show will make some transitional change for YouTube. So if there's anything you guys are thinking about or would like to see or want to do, please let me know so I can start brainstorming it now while we're still a few weeks out. Trace.
I will say this: if I remember right, Zelezny is a striker, right? Eileen Perez has shown the tendency to come in hard the first two rounds and gas in the third, and then start getting picked apart on the feet. I know I haven't looked at that fight yet, but seems like it would be a decision for Eileen Perez with a sprinkle in the third round on the Iron Lady for a finish. Maybe seemed like it would be a good way to play that fight.
That seems very fair, but if I end up playing that next week, you know me, I'm just playing the over, and that's going to be enough for me because I think the overs are the best plays you can do. I don't
Eileen
know.
Perez is a fantastic DraftKings player, though. I don't. I'm sure Mike would agree on that one. She's got that almost Marab type wrestling style where she shoots takedowns but can't really keep you down. And that adds up points really quick. I'll definitely be targeting her for that for sure.
Yeah, I even know that shit adds up, and that's how you play that. Um, all right, I'm gonna cut it out, boys. I'll get some pictures posted up in the team room for the studio when it's up. I'll try to get them put up in the main room for everybody else to see too. And then hopefully we are doing something different in a few weeks. I know Mike is set up to get on YouTube already. So I'll probably easily be able to drag him into some type of video. Hoping to get you other boys at least somehow, some way, at least for Parcel Show or, Parcel Show Up to do it. Shout out Dead Picks out there, man. He listens. He hops on the mic when he needs to. He keeps us streaming on YouTube. And I'm hoping that he will be doing remote tech work during live shows once I can figure out all the fucking software and all the hardware. That's going to be it for me, boys. I thank you. I thank you guys for showing up.